Ladies and gentlemen of Knucklehead Nation, welcome to the FightersRep podcast, episode 42. I am your host, the FightersRep Fez, alongside with my esteemed colleague, none other than a Richmond Heights legend, Gary Ignat Behavior. Gary, how are you doing on this wonderful Monday evening, sir?
I'm good, man. I'm good. A light day of work. Had to run around a little bit, but I'm good, man.
I like it. I like it, Gary. And, today we're going to be talking about, because we didn't get a chance to talk about it with you too much, but besides Teofimo Lopez kind of reacted to that a bit more, we're going to talk about Bam Rodriguez, because that's the fight me and you didn't really get to talk about, and Shakur Stevenson back in the ring on Saturday against Harutyunyan. We'll give our prediction on that one, and we'll discuss Shakur a little bit more. But first and foremost, we did do a post-fight on Teofimo Lopez, were there any other thoughts you had about the fight? Any other thoughts you have about Teofimo Lopez, that kind of come to mind? I do think that these lower weight classes, man, are really bubbling right now. You know what I mean? So all the drama is with Devin Haney and Ryan Garcia and T.O.'s fight with Claggett and Bam Rodriguez looking the way he did. Shakur is fighting on Saturdays. There's a lot of action in these lower weight classes, Gary.
After we had a podcast Saturday, I got to listen to everybody talking and just get to rewatch some things and look at some highlights, see him talking and everything. Yeah. And one of the things that stood out to me is him saying Bob Arum didn't look happy. So it isn't just us that thought like the fight was lackluster. Yeah. He was like, oh, well, F Bob and everything if he wasn't happy. And it's like, I think he knows, and it kind of seemed like he was trying to you there, George?
Yeah, I'm here. Can you hear me?
Oh, okay. I thought he was frozen.
No, I'm looking down because I was looking for an article or something I saw on social media about this situation where Teofimo was reacting to Bob Arum's post-fight comments. I was just looking to get us. I do my research on the spot sometimes.
I know sometimes you're looking down, but you were like a mannequin. You were like, I was like, did he freeze? There's no way he didn't blink.
I'm good.
Yeah, but back to what I was saying was Bob Arum wasn't satisfied with the fight. So I think this is 2 in a row of lackluster performances. And to be real with you, I haven't seen a great. Josh Taylor he fought good, but just a great TO like he was at 135. I just haven't seen that. He looks special at 135. At 140, he looks. At 140, he doesn't look special. He looks good. He looks very good.
He's regular.
Yeah, he doesn't look
at 140. Yeah, he was premium. Yeah. He was premium at 135. He's regular at 140.
And I even seen Jorge Linares. I was looking at Jorge Linares a video, and he basically was saying like, he wasn't talking about he wasn't talking about T.O., but he was just talking about fighters of the generation. And they think just going up is the right thing to do because it's easier. You don't have to make the weight. It's easier. It's not always the best decision. But he says fighters don't want to sacrifice to lose the weight anymore, which I kind of felt with the Ryan Garcia thing. Like, he could make weight if he wanted to. He doesn't have the discipline or to have the sacrifice to actually make 135 or 140. He doesn't have the discipline. He just doesn't want to do it. He wants to take the easy way out, get fat, and do whatever he wants to do. So, because he was really talking about Jorge Linares was really talking about Devin Haney should come back to 135 because his power, he already didn't have power. Now he's up to higher weight and it doesn't affect guys even more. And it's a lot of guys who have more power at that weight that can knock you out more.
It is kind of crazy how far up Devin's going, and he's even thinking about welterweight. It was almost like yesterday he was fighting Linares, so it's kind of weird.
I think that they can go up, but I think they want to jump too quickly. You got
Yeah.
people like Errol Spence that stayed at 147 for a while until he was in his 30s, and then finally said, or other fighters who wait till, yeah, they're doing it early, man. And
Yeah.
it's like, do you have to? You had a lot of good fights at where you're at, and let your body get to that grown man body all the way where your power can travel a little bit. And I kind of agree with everything Jorge was saying. Even he was saying about fighters are trying to, because they asked him, is a little bit of pounds over the weight, does it really matter? And he was like, these fighters of these days, they want to blow up so much weight after they weigh in. That's what they want to do instead of back the standard. He's not saying it like this, is obviously language, but
Right.
instead of staying within 10 pounds of your weight, you're trying to lose 20 pounds and then blow back up 20 pounds after you weigh in, and that's
Yeah.
just he's
Yeah.
like, it's not healthy.
Yeah, they're never at their natural weight, really. No, I totally understand. What I saw online was it was basically an Instagram post that says, Bob said I did well, and this is Teofimo Lopez allegedly. This is Teofimo Lopez talking. Bob said I did well. He don't look too happy. F it. I don't care. Like I'm your only last star available. You just got to deal with it. That sounds like a Teofimo Lopez remark. And you can tell the apple doesn't fall too far from the tree on that one. If you've seen the way his dad behaves sometimes,
Yeah,
uh,
yeah.
I just don't think that's a good mentality to have when you're dealing with a
It's
promoter.
not.
I don't think it's good for business. I think Teofimo maybe is a little bit frustrated because it's exactly like you're saying. He was looking special at a lower weight class. He's looking pretty above average, I guess you could
Yeah.
say at 140. You know what I
Well, I
mean?
won't
It's
go.
above
I'll say
average.
good. He looks
Yeah.
good. He doesn't look
Yeah.
special.
Right. And all that power, all that explosiveness, all that, showmanship is kind of going out the window as we keep getting fed decision win after decision win after decision win against guys that really, are not marquee names, right? That last fight, I mean, shout out to Steve Claggett, a lot of respect to him. I'm really happy he got the opportunity, but I mean, nobody who even knows really who he was until that fight. And
Yeah.
I think a lot of people still won't know who he is. So, I don't know. That's pretty much all I have for Tio. You got anything else for Tio?
Nah, man, I totally agree with you. I don't think it's the right mindset. I don't really even think he believes that. I think he's just being defensive because he's not getting what he wants out of these fights. He wants to be special, and he's like, didn't have a. He
Yeah.
knows. He knows.
Yeah. Well, maybe
Yeah.
he should go with, instead of Beat It, maybe he should go with Thriller next time, and that'll do the trick. Ah. But anyway, if you haven't already, knuckleheads, subscribe to the channel, join the channel. It's the only way you can help us continue to grow the channel and the promotion. That's right. We're a full-fledged kickboxing promotion here, giving young fighters the most incredible opportunity in striking. So this is fan-funded. So join the channel, help us grow. Any super chats, super thanks, or even the purchase of merchandise is another way to help us grow. And if you're interested in sponsoring, great write-off for your business. Tickets to FightersRep 25 and 26 go on sale in 2 days. That's July 3rd at FightersRep.com. You're not going to want to miss it. September 7th at the beautiful Commerce Casino in Los Angeles. September 21st at Pompano Beach, Florida, at the beautiful Arion Event Center. And that one you could meet Gary, but be sure to keep your wives and your girlfriends at home. I'm just kidding. So moving on, Gary. We saw Bam Rodriguez take on Gallo Estrada at the Footprint Center. I think that's what it's called, which is an interesting name for a venue. At the Footprint Center, I believe in Phoenix, Arizona. And Bam Rodriguez, young warrior out of San Antonio, Texas, Gary, went out there with less than half the fights of the legendary Gallo Estrada at super flyweight. And I gotta say, Gary, I mean, I asked you, to go do your homework, which you always do. But I asked you to go do your homework, take a look at this guy. And I'm not going to lie, I'm excited to hear what you have to say about him. If you saw anything that kind of, stuck out to you in that performance and in his abilities. Because I'm very high on the kid. I was kind of, I'm like you, we don't really pay too much attention to these really small weight classes, like flyweight, super flyweight, whatever, super flyweight. But I was like, wow, man. I mean, to me, he looked like he had the goods, I don't know.
Oh no, he definitely looks like he has the goods. Oh no, he definitely like he had the goods. And I didn't and I'll be first to say I didn't really pay attention to those weight classes, so I didn't really know much about the kid.
No.
I remember, and it was funny because I was watching the Teo fight, and I'm literally on Twitter as I'm watching it, and somebody goes, "You want to see a good fight? Turn to the Bam is trying to fight it." So I'm like, "Oh yeah." So I'm like, what I'm saying? That's just funny because I just see somebody comment that, and then after I seen some highlights, and then you were like, "Oh, go check the guy out. The guy is serious." And I looked at him. I looked at other fights he had, and he seems special. And the thing about it is that it sucks because most people don't really watch those lower weights, what I'm saying, for the most part. And when you have somebody special like that, a lot of time they're in my opinion, too special for the division. They have to move up like NUA had to start fighting better challenges, finding better challenges. And the kid is fast, on his toes, good defense. He got dropped, but that happens. You're gonna get hit.
Yeah, it was a bit of a flash too. I mean, it was a bit of a
he
flash.
Smiled. He got up and smiled. He got up and smiled, and the angles, the feet positioning he has, the IQ.
Was nice. That was nice.
Yeah,
the angles were nice.
And his angles inside the pocket. He's not fighting always at a distance and giving you. He's up in your chest, and he's still boom, and he So I mean, and I even saw a video looking him up, with Shakur Stevenson talking about, hey, I sparred that guy when I was going for the Olympics and everything, and he hit, and I was just toying around because I thought he's a smaller guy than me at the time, and he hit me so hard in my stomach. I was like, yo, and he was like, he hits for a little guy. You know what I mean? He was like, he can hit, and he was like, I guess they have a good relationship because Bam always picks Shakur and always talks about Shakur, and he was like, nah, he's like, the dudes, you walk in the gym, you start seeing him like that dude's on a different level than all those other guys. And he gave him a lot of props about how he is. But yeah, man, I'll watch more of his fights.
Hell yeah, man. What stuck out to me, I mean, I'm glad you brought it up, was the IQ. Sometimes he was throwing combination punches, and sometimes he was throwing single shots, and sometimes he was adapting and countering with a single shot, and sometimes he was adapting and countering with a combo, and sometimes he was going, body head, and sometimes he was going head body, and I loved the angle, and it was actually the angle that he cut at the very end that took Gallo Estrada out, right? Because it looked like, he kind of landed a big left to the body. It didn't land right on the target while they were mixing it up inside. And he kind of, angled off to his right. And through that, it's like this vicious, like, shovel punch, like this uppercut to the body kind of thing he was throwing. And man, you could tell that hurt. You don't see a boxer on the floor rolling around in pain all the time. That hurt. That he got him clean with that one.
What a thing I learned by researching and everything, and listening to Shakur Stevenson talk about him. That was his specialty in amateurs. Obviously, he got guys out of there with body shots, and it reminded me of Artur Beterbiev. That was his specialty in the amateurs. He got, and I seen a video with him saying he practiced the liver shot over and over, and he was ending a lot of fights in the amateurs with liver shots. And supposedly Bam Bam did the same thing. I don't know because I'm not gonna act like I followed him then, but listen to the interview and the interviewer, they were saying like that was something that he got a lot of guys out in the amateurs with that body shot. So I'm pretty sure he was looking for it, and he went back to it, tried it once, then missed it, and then said, "I'm gonna get it again. I'm gonna get this body shot. It's there for the taking."
Yeah. No, it was
But his
very
speed,
impressive. Go
he
ahead.
has elite speed.
He does. He does. That's another thing I was surprised at. It wasn't just, I feel like, boxers are like, I don't know how to make this appropriate. I feel like they're like ladies. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we always go to the ladies, huh?
Hey, you're either thick in the front or you're thick in the back. It's very rare to have both. You know what I'm saying? So this dude, boxers either they can box or they can brawl. You know what I mean?
When they can do both, I call them fighters.
Or they can box, or they're not athletic, or they're a brawler and they're super athletic. So for me, this guy, like, he checked all the boxes for me. You know what I mean? He can box really well. He was very sharp, in my opinion. He's a very good boxer from what I could see. But he also had elite speed, but he also had elite power.
Yeah.
So that's what really had me high on him, because I don't know if you noticed that first knockdown, Gary, in the third round, when he hit him with the 3-piece.
Yeah.
Bro, I was like, whoa. I was like, what was that, bro? That was nice. You know what I mean? Like that was like back in the day, the N1 mixtapes, when Hot Sauce or Professor crossed somebody up and dropped them. I was like, damn, that was beautiful to watch,
Well, see, the thing I think that is impressive with him, and we'll see as he fights more and gets up higher and higher. Yeah, he's very defensively sound in the pocket.
Yeah.
In the pocket. Like, it's hard to be in the pocket and catching shots and throwing them and still be able to throw them. It's not too many people who can do that. I feel like Boots can do that. I feel like Shakur can do that. I feel like Shakur, Boots. But a lot of people, like you said, you either got a guy who wants to be right up in your chest and fight only inside. He can't fight from a distance. Or you got a guy who only wants to fight from a distance and does not like to have you in his chest. And like I said, that's when I call those guys kind of fighters, guys who can, I can get inside with you if you want me to, and I can knock you out with power.
Please don't, Gary.
I forgot. Pause. I forgot my Cameron and Mace thing.
You didn't know Diddy after you told me you wanted to get inside of him. But I'll forgive it this time.
But you know what I mean? It's like, that's why I say you got boxers. Hey man,
Jesus.
I said boxers after that. I'm trying to get in your boxers. Anyway, whatever.
Right, I'm sorry.
But no, you got boxers and you got brawlers or whatever. And then I call them fighters who can adapt to whatever they, some are elite in both. Some are elite in one, but they can do the other. But some are very good, equally good, and
it's like the tits and ass thing I was talking about before.
Yeah.
Like, you can't have both, and if you have both, then you've got a horrible attitude or something has to be wrong, But this guy somehow, kind of like Terrence Crawford.
Yeah.
Kind of like Terrence Crawford, is able to just do everything, and I would say in watching him, it kind of felt like I was watching a Crawford or an Inoue. I would say it felt more like I was watching a Crawford. It was a little bit of like a baby Crawford. You know what I mean? Not on the, maybe not on the same level yet. I mean, you need to do it consistently. But what I was looking at, it looked Crawford-esque to me,
I can get Crawford more than Inoue, even though when I was watching, I thought about Inoue a little bit, but I was like, it kind of it kind of reminded me of a little bit when him inside is Lomachenko going lateral movement instead of back, back
Well,
or
he's not as
circling
shit.
out.
He's not avoiding or as elusive as Lomachenko. He's still defensively sound, but I feel like he's more aggressive. He's more aggressive.
Well, I don't think it's the exact same as Lomachenko.
Yeah.
I don't think it's the exact same, but I think it's a little bit of the I can stand right in front of you because Lomachenko is a guy who can stand right in front of you, turn you this way, go this way, and still he stands in front of you, but it's not necessarily like as Lomachenko's trying to turn you as much. He's trying to get angles for different shots, and he's blocking it. Lomachenko's trying to turn you, and when you turn, you get hit with a shot, and I turn you back this way, and he keeps turning you. He's more so just trying to get the angle for his shots.
Yeah,
it looks like to me.
No, I agree, and I also feel like the stance is more like Crawford, and the explosiveness and the speed. Like I felt like the power, the speed, because Lomachenko, like he's got respectable hand speed and power, but I feel like Crawford.
Yeah, it's not a one-shot power.
Yeah, like Crawford is a bit more explosive and intense.
Explosive, yeah.
And I feel like Bam is like that. Like I feel like Bam is like that as well. You know what I mean?
Well, when I got from watching him,
when he landed that 3-piece, I was like, holy shit. And then he landed the body shot, right away. Now that we're having this conversation, it makes you think about when Crawford fought Julius Ndongo. Remember that when he fought Ndongo? And
he ripped him to the body. He ripped him to the body.
Yeah.
That was the first or second round or something?
It was something like that. And Ndongo was good. He was a good fighter.
Yeah.
He was like a serious
threat. He didn't make it. Hey, he didn't look good against Crawford. He got walked. Crawford. That was. I was like, oh shit, it's over.
Yeah.
Crawford just eliminated him. But what I was gonna say is,
he reminds me of Crawford. He reminds me of Crawford.
He opens up. I can see a little bit of a lot of different fighters in him because he opens up a little bit more than Crawford does, letting his hands go a little bit more. Crawford's looking for the good shot, Crawford's not a volume guy. Like I'm looking for the correct shot, the good shot, catch you, and
But we're also talking about
we're
also talking about a kid here who's 24 years old. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay.
You got me?
Yeah. But I'm saying, we're also talking about a kid here that's 24 years old. So, I mean, I can't really compare him to a contemporary Crawford who's, in the twilight.
I'm looking at Crawford. I'm looking at Crawford through all of his.
Okay.
I'm looking at Crawford through all of his travel, not just now, because like you said, you brought up in I can't even say his name. How you say his name? Ndongo, right? And I'm looking against him early in his career.
Yeah. Sorry, sometimes.
And it said your internal temperature is too hot. Where you at, bro?
That is a first.
Where you at?
Oh, that is a first for me. Let me turn up the AC a bit more. But anyway, you can continue.
Yeah. So Miami Heat.
That's pretty wild. That's not happened before. So
what I was gonna say. Hold on, I'm blacked out here. You got me?
I got you now.
Okay.
Now it's all you, champ. You're just gonna hear my voice for a little bit.
Okay, so here's my thing is that I feel like Terrence Crawford is a guy. He'll pour it on once he know he got you. But he's more sharper. He's looking for one shot. He's looking for the perfect shot. He's not really opening up. I feel like Bam opens up a little bit more, and they do that at the lighter weights also. And he'll open up a little bit more, and he'll throw like you said earlier. He'll throw one shot here and there, but then he'll also open up, and I also feel like where he reminds me of Terrence Crawford is because like I was saying with Lomachenko, he doesn't go try to turn you as much as Lomachenko, but he turns, and I see Terrence Crawford does that, but he does it when he does like southpaw to orthodox. When he's going orthodox and southpaw, he's turning like orthodox or southpaw to get a shot, and that's what I feel like Bam does. He doesn't turn to a different stance, but he turns to an angle where he can get a better shot. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah. No, I hear you.
And I feel he does that, and I also feel like Shakur is a crafty fighter that in the pocket, Shakur can block, defend, and still land shots. Now he doesn't have the power I think that Bam has, and we'll see how Bam power travels. But yeah, you know.
Yeah. And you know, I also think there's a bit of a mean streak. There's a bit of a mean streak with more
Terrence
of a
Crawford and with Bam.
With Bam and Crawford. Yeah. I mean,
yeah.
And I like, you know, maybe I'm a little sadistic, you know, but I kind of like that. You know what I mean?
Right there with you. I'm right there. Hey, it's the reason why I got Michael Jordan over LeBron. I like a sadistic motherfucker.
Right. That's right. Yeah,
I like a motherfucker that got a little sadistic in him.
Yeah. No, I was really impressed. I like the power. I like the different counter shots. I like the combos. I was feeling the speed. I was happy about the speed. Yeah, I mean, I didn't see, you know, like you said, like, you know, if you swim, you're going to get wet. It's boxing. You're going to get hit sometimes. Yeah. It was a flash knockdown, and he smiled, and it didn't really affect him. And you could tell he was like, all right, you snuck one in there. You got lucky. You
got that. You got that.
Yeah. I'll give you that one. But, you know, I didn't see any flaws, really. I mean, I didn't see any flaws that I could say, well, he's really got to go work on this. And you know, you always want to be working on something, I think, no matter who you are. So, you know, I'm sure he won't, you know, listen to me or listen to us and you know, rest on his laurels. But I'm just saying, I didn't see anything like damn, he needs to work on that, right? Like, for instance,
I think that'll be. Go ahead. I'm sorry.
Well, I was going to say, for instance, with Teo, right? With Teo, like, you know, get that guy out of there, dude. Like, get that guy out of there. You know, the last guy he fought. Like, you're kind of fighting his fight, you know, and you're kind of trying to outvalue him, and then you're not like really going for the kill. And I don't feel like Bam has those problems. You know, I don't feel like Bam has those problems.
You know, talking about the Teo versus Bam. Teo, how about you get in there, go like this, push him off. Let's get in the middle and let's trade. Because you know the guy can't really hurt you. Yeah. Let's get in the middle. Let's you want to pound? You want to try to walk me down? I'm not gonna let you walk me down. Push you off. Boom. Get into it.
Or I'm even thinking as he's coming in, because the guy's rushing forward all the time, right?
Yeah.
Maybe go off to the side and as he's coming in, do like a leaping uppercut, like put all your power or put a lot of power in these shots, try to get him out of there. Maybe go right to the liver like Bam did, you know? Maybe go to the liver like Bam did, get him out, you know, get him out of there. Because I mean, maybe the guy can take.
You know, I think with the Teo fight, I do think that he did lay into the uppercut hard a couple times, and I think at the 8th or 9th he kind of got him a little bit. I think he was trying to, and I think he just. But my thing is, I understand early on moving around, getting the guy, trying to see if you can wear him down a little bit. But at some point, like the reason why I like a guy like Terrence Crawford, I like a guy like Terrence Crawford. I like Boots. Because Terrence Crawford, when he went to fight Errol Spence, he was like pushing Errol Spence, like, nah, get back. You ain't gonna bully me. You're not just gonna keep coming in here bullying me. And he even said it in the interview. He says, everybody said I was a smaller guy. He came in, I pushed him back. I'm like, that's all he got? Like Terrence Crawford's like, you're not gonna bully me, I'm gonna force you up off of me. Back up, and I'm gonna get the shot. Boots is in there. Boots is doing the same thing, whether he's charging in with his shoulder, knocking you back, whether he's framing you, pushing you back, getting your head up, boom, uppercutting you. These guys ain't gonna let you just keep walking them down all the time. And they give you angles and all that. So that's what I feel Teo has to work on. Like you're moving around with a guy. Because if that's Pitbull, I don't know what you're doing with Pitbull in that situation.
Yeah. Pitbull might just drive you into the corner and bang you out. No digging. He might push you into the corner and bang the shit out of you. No Diddy.
All right.
You know?
I don't mean to. Hey, listen. I don't mean to switch subjects, but you know, I'm on limited time here. I gotta go. But Shakur Stevenson, the fight we got coming up, right?
Yeah.
So I'm gonna let you go first this time. What do you think about that fight, and what do you think about Shakur Stevenson? What he should do?
Well, I think Shakur is one of the most gifted fighters
You
in
you kind
boxing.
of breaking up right now.
I'm breaking up?
You were breaking up a little bit.
Okay. Well, what I was saying is I think Shakur is one of the most gifted fighters in boxing. The interesting part about this fight, I mean, Shakur has more fights than this guy, right? He's 21-0 is Shakur, 10 knockouts. This guy has
You're
13.
breaking up again. You're breaking up. You're breaking up pretty bad right now.
Maybe just on your side because the stream is good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Maybe. Go ahead. Go ahead. I'll fix it. Keep going.
Okay.
Go.
Okay. But for me, and Artem, he's 13 fights. He's 12-1 with 7 knockouts. The most interesting thing about this fight for me, right? And can you hear me? Am I coming through okay?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. So the most interesting thing about this fight to me is that Artem actually fought Frank Martin, who Tank Davis just beat. You know what I mean? And there you go. Your picture was frozen, but now you're back, Gary, and now you're gone.
All right. Okay.
Anyway, what I was saying is, no, I think you're back now. But so Artem fought Frank Martin and was doing well against Frank Martin until pretty much the end of the fight, and he ended up losing a unanimous decision. But I mean, he was doing pretty well against Frank Martin. He's also a bronze medalist from the Olympics. So he's not a terrible fighter. He's a pretty good fighter. But this is not a guy that's going to be, at least in my opinion, I don't think he's going to beat a Shakur Stevenson. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, I don't think he's. Can you hear me? I'm good?
Yeah, you're good. You're good.
Okay. So I just think that this is what Tio had this weekend. This is for Shakur. And Shakur, don't do it, Tio. Like
don't Tio it up. Don't Tio it up.
Yeah, so you had a chance to Shakur, you talk a lot of smack, and I don't care. I like it. I'm a big fan. But you had a so fight last time. You had an excuse with your arm being hurt, and you've been taking a lot of criticism. Just like Tio did with Jane Ortiz fight. Now, this right here is the fight for you to hush people up, and you say you're going to hush them up. So you have to take a guy like this who is a good fighter. He gave Frank Martin a run, and a lot of people think that he would have lost. He would have beat Frank if Frank didn't knock him down in a later round. This is your chance right now to really put on a good performance and tank a reason why after Lomachenko I should fight you.
Right.
And it's a lot on the line. This is a lot on the line right now. If you get the crap out of guy and punish this guy, knock him down. You don't have to knock him out, but you got to knock him down or something. Show that you deserve to be in there with Tank and not move around a lot and stay in the pocket like you did the fight before your last one.
Yeah.
You might get the Tank fight, and it might be a mega fight.
Your reception is struggling right now, Gary. I mean, I heard what you said, but your reception is really, really struggling right now.
I'm not sure what's going on here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna. I don't know, but
yeah, I agree. I mean, I agree. I think he definitely needs to put on a good performance. It's almost like fighting a common opponent since Martin and Harutyunyan had such a close fight. And if he does perform well, I think he needs to get this guy out of there. I think if he gets this guy out of there, it gives Tank a reason to fight him. Because in my opinion, I mean, I think in anyone with half a brain's opinion, Tank holds, Tank holds the the control. He holds the remote control in this one, man. He holds the key in this
Exactly.
one. You know, so you know, you want to make that Tank money. You're gonna have to put on a performance here, and you're gonna have to hope that Tank gets through Lomachenko, which, you know, I think at this point in Lomachenko's career, you know, is most likely gonna happen.
Yeah,
You
yeah,
got
yeah.
you said you got to get going.
Yeah, man, I gotta get
Yeah.
going, and so for some reason, my internet is. I'm gonna call AT&T, and we're gonna have a problem, bro. The fiber's supposed to be the best internet.
You're
AT&T, get
good.
my
You're
freaking
good.
fiber right, man.
You're good. You're good. Well, we'll keep it short for tonight. I'll let you go, man. But you know, what's your prediction for Shakur before I let you go?
I don't think Shakur knocks him out. I think Shakur probably drops him. You know what? I think Shakur may be able to get a TKO, not
Yeah.
like stoppage.
Yeah.
But yeah, stoppage maybe in like I'll give him ninth round stoppage of just battering him up, maybe knocking him down once or twice, and they
Yeah.
just stop it.
That sounds good to
Yeah,
me too. That sounds good to me too. I would say eighth round and beyond. I think Shakur gets the stoppage because he has to. He has to put on a show here, you know. And I think he's put
has
too
to.
much into his boxing career. There's too much of an investment here for him to, you know, mess around and put up a boring performance and pull a Tio, pull a Miami Tio. You know what I mean? He can't do that. So we need a big
Maybe Tio was
win.
in he was in the strip clubs down here in Miami, baby.
Yeah,
Tio, maybe you were.
maybe that's what it was. They drained all the testosterone after him before, you know, out of him before he went out. He went down there to the James L. Knight Center. Stay out in Miami strip clubs. But anyway, that's pretty much all we have for you guys. Gary, I appreciate your time. If you guys haven't already, again, subscribe and join the channel by becoming a member through joining the channel. That's how you support us the most. Also, we appreciate super chat, super thanks, and the purchase of any merchandise. Thank you, Gary. Appreciate your time, man. Go do your thing,
No
brother.
problem, man.
All right.
Yeah, yeah.